Buying the S&P 500 used to be smart, but right now it could be the dumbest move you make this year. Here's what I'm watching instead. Most people think the question is, should I buy the S&P 500 or not? That's the wrong question. The real question is, where is growth actually coming from right now? Because it's not evenly distributed anymore. For years, buying the index worked because growth was broad. Most companies were moving together. That's no longer true. Today, a small group of companies and sectors are doing most of the heavy lifting, while large parts of the market go sideways or quietly fall. When growth becomes concentrated like this, buying the whole index means overpaying for stagnation. This is when investors take a break and start asking which parts are actually growing. Most people define risk as losing money. That's not the real risk. The real risk is parking money in something average while something exceptional is happening elsewhere. If the S&P 500 returns 10 to 15% from here, that's not failure. But if certain sectors compound at 25 to 30%, then staying in the index becomes expensive. Opportunity cost doesn't feel painful immediately. It feels painful 5 years later when you realize what you missed. This isn't about fear or exiting the market. Money isn't leaving, it's rotating. When investors expect uneven growth, capital moves toward innovation, productivity, cash flow durability, long-term themes. Indexes are slow to adapt. By the time an index reflects a trend, early investors are already positioned. This is why I'm pausing, not to sit in cash, but to let the picture get clearer. This is the type of market where you don't ask, what should I buy? You ask, which sectors are quietly compounding? Which industries are gaining pricing power? Where is productivity accelerating? That's where real opportunity lives, and you won't find it by buying everything equally. So where is my attention personally going right now? Not as recommendations, just as themes I'm watching closely. First, AI. Not because it's trendy, but because it's a productivity engine. Whenever technology makes human more efficient, capital follows. Second, semiconductors. Every major trend from AI to robotics to defense runs through chips. You don't bet on the apps, you bet on the infrastructure. Third, data centers. AI doesn't live in the cloud. It lives in physical buildings full of servers consuming massive power. That's a real-world bottleneck, and bottlenecks create opportunity. Those themes don't guarantee returns, but they represent something the S&P 500 can't capture evenly: concentrated growth pockets. That's why I'm not buying the S&P 500 blindly. Not because it's bad, but because growth right now is uneven, selective, and directional. If you weren't buying the S&P 500 today, where would you look instead? Sectors, themes, assets? I want to see how people are thinking. That's all for this video, and thank you for watching it. Also, like and subscribe. See you in the next one.